good evening, and welcome to Tea Time.
Everybody, welcome to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. It is the last Monday of July. Can you believe it? It is July 29th. It's crazy. Okay, I'm going to talk about my weekend real quick and get to my in-studio guest. I'm so excited she's here. Friday, I spent the day with my girl, Donna Morales. Yes, we were poolside, just hanging out. And then that night, I went over lines because I'm actually filming a week from today, next Monday. Saturday, I did Murdered by the Mob at the Iron Bar in the secret room. I normally play Bunny. There I am as Bunny, but the OG Bunny came up. Shout out to my girlfriend, Allie Mulrain, came up to play her original role as Bunny, and I played Donna Rosella. There I am as Donna Rosella, Big Paulie's widow. And it was a little challenging because I haven't played her in about a year, but it was a lot of fun, and I have a great cast. Thank you. And we went out afterwards, and we hung out, and Allie's going back to South Carolina, and she's like, you know, the next time I see her, I think I'm going to have to go down there and visit her. But it was so good to see her. We had a great show. We had people from Australia and Arizona and Jersey and Staten Island. It was great. And then Sunday's laundry day, because we all need clean underwear. And I spent the day at the beach with my sister Janine, my cousin Nancy, and my girlfriend Raquel. Fell in love with my sister's beach. It's called Crab Meadow Beach. It's considered Northport. And it is, I'm not an ocean girl. I like the sound. I don't like big waves. It's like nice glass, calm, serene, lovely, never too crowded, quiet. It's great. I love it. Okay, so let me get to my guest because I'm so excited. She's here in person, took the ride from Queens. She's a writer, director. She is a actor. She's a model. She's also a licensed film critic, and I can't wait to hear how she got into that. Roxanne Elise is here. Hello, Roxanne.
Hello, and thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, I'm so excited you're here. Again, thank you. And your friends for bringing you here today.
Paul and Victoria,
yes,
my favorite people.
Yes.
They took me here tonight.
I love it. I love it. And so let's get into it. I'm a Queens girl. You're a Queens girl.
Yes.
Originally from?
Born in Brooklyn, New York.
And then went to Ridgewood?
Ended
up in Ridgewood?
Born in Brooklyn, New York. At the age of 10, my family and I moved to Queens.
Okay.
Maspeth.
Okay, cool.
And when they passed away, I moved to Ridgewood, the hood.
The hood. Ridgewood, Queens. And, you know, you have a very moving story of your life. Your life it really did move me because you were born actually crippled, deformed. You had your one leg and foot.
Both.
Oh, both.
Were turned
inward, right. And years ago we called that like pigeon
yes,
pigeon-toed, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. But it also affected your legs as well. It was like
it
your
affected
entire...
I was in a body cast in the first week of my life.
Wow.
A body cast. And I felt so bad, not for myself because I don't remember anything.
No, and thank God you don't.
But my parents were young.
Yeah.
And my poor mother had this deformed baby.
Yeah.
And it
You know,
must
the
have been
first thing
so
you want to do
difficult
is
for
count all
her.
the fingers, count all the toes. You had them all there.
They were there,
But they weren't
were
facing
crooked.
the right way.
Right.
So they had you in a cast, and then you had braces.
Braces
on
until
both
I
your
was
legs.
3 years old.
Like freaking Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump, there I was.
And at 3, were you able to get them removed?
They were removed when I was 3.5.
Okay, 3.5.
But I had to wear those high black shoes with the
Yes,
big
you had to wear
wooden
orthopedic
shoes all the time.
All the time.
All
Up
the
until
time.
what age did you have to wear those?
10.
Yeah, and I'm sure the kids,
They
the kids
made
made
fun
fun.
of me
They're not
all the
nice.
time.
Not nice.
All the time.
Yeah, yeah.
It was horrible. I had a really bad
It's hard,
childhood.
it's hard, yeah.
Being disabled.
Yeah. It's not fun, but you, oh my God, you're such an overcomer. Because here you're telling your parents you want to dance.
Yeah, I was 3.
I
was
wanna
3
dance.
years old, and we were sitting in the living room.
Like, were you watching like Lawrence Welk or
We were-
something? Because I used to watch Lawrence Welk with my grandmother.
Yes.
And I used to love watching them dance and move.
No, it wasn't Lawrence Welk. Who was the other one on Sunday nights?
Oh, I don't know. There were so many back then to watch.
Well, it was one of those shows,
Right,
and there was
right.
dancers and
Yes,
singers,
yes.
and I was just 3 years old, and I said to my parents, "I want to do that." And my father, being a strict Sicilian Italian man,
I know what that's like.
unfiltered completely,
Right.
he turned around and he said, "You're crippled. You can't do that."
Yeah.
And my mother said,
Yeah, yeah.
she said, "You can do whatever you want to do."
And that's what you needed to hear.
And she took me to the Lyceum School for Dance, which was run by a group of former Rockettes.
Wow.
They were my instructors, but they said to my mother, "She's not old enough. She's only 3.5. She
Right.
has to be 5."
Where my parents put me, Robert Mann Dancing School in Bayside, I was 4.
Well,
They took me at 4.
This school, you had to be 5.
Okay.
And I carried on. I hung on the rockette and I cried. I said, "Please, please, I want to be a dancer like you."
Yeah.
And they gave in, and I was the youngest child in the recital. And my first recital was,
Do you remember? Because I remember mine.
I remember it so
What
well.
was yours?
I was 4 years old, Carnegie Hall.
Carnegie
I
Hall.
played the hall at 4 years old.
Wow. Do you remember the name of the name of the song of the dance, or?
Oh, no,
you
but I
remember?
remember the steps.
Okay. Okay. We have a pic of you. We have a pic of you in your tap. I think you're in your tap shoes.
Oh, that's me. That's when I danced at Radio City.
I love it.
I was
love
6
it.
there. I
Well,
was 6 years old.
That's fantastic. Now, I never danced at Radio City or Carnegie Hall. I don't remember where Bob used to book the recitals, but I just remember I was a bumblebee. And the song was "Be My Little Baby Bumblebee." That was my first, at 4, that was my first tap, because I love tap. I love to make noise. I think I took jazz for like 8 years, and I only took ballet for 1 year. I hated it. I like to make noise. My dream was to dance with Gregory Hines.
Oh, my God.
Before he
he's
passed,
phenomenal.
but oh my God, I wanted to tap with him so bad. But yeah, but you remember, you know,
I remember
Yeah.
in the hall, Carnegie Hall, what I remember
Yeah.
was I was behind the curtain getting ready to go on. It was a solo tap dance.
Wow.
And the curtains were so high. Now, as an adult,
Yeah.
the hall looks big.
Right.
Imagine as a 4-year-old child.
Right, right.
So the curtains were so high and the stage was so huge. Wow. And I went out there and I had no fear whatsoever.
You know, when you're younger, you don't.
No fear whatsoever.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I remember at the end of the dance, I blew kisses to the audience. And my father said, "Oh, dear God, she's going to be in this business.
That's great. Well, you definitely, I do not, I am vertically challenged at 5'2", so my dreams of being a Rockette were shot down because I think you have to be 5'6" or 5'7", right?
5'7".
5'7". You have the height. You
I'm
were blessed.
5'8".
Yeah, you were blessed with the height, so.
That's my dad.
Yeah, that's your friend.
6'2".
Oh, wow.
My mom was 5'2".
Wow. Yeah, that's me, 5'2". But Carnegie Hall and then
Radio
City. I mean, that's
I mean, to
amazing.
start out as a child.
I mean, come on. Where do you go from there?
Where do you go
Hello?
from there? You're never, ever afraid of a stage again
No.
after those two places.
No. Amazing. Really amazing. You end up going to Groveland Cleveland High School.
Yes, I did.
And you left, actually, your last year because you were touring with a theater company.
Yes. Grease. I was Cha-Cha, the dancer.
I was Jan, one of the pink ladies.
Oh,
I can't tell you how many Twinkies I had to eat during that show, and I haven't touched one since.
I was Cha-Cha.
Oh, I could totally see you as Cha-Cha.
It was great. I loved it because it was the first musical I was ever
Yes.
in. I was in 25 plays in my career.
Yeah.
But I never was in a musical until Grease.
Love it. Love it.
And then we went on tour.
Yeah.
So I left high school before I
Right.
graduated.
Yeah.
Then I went after touring.
Yeah.
I went back to school.
Right. You got your GED.
I got my GED,
Right.
and then I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts.
Yes, you studied. You did.
I studied till I was 50 years old.
You studied a long time because you said you're never too old to learn something new.
There's always something
But
new
you
to
did. You
learn.
studied at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York and LA.
Yes.
And you as well went to the Actor Studio, HB Studios.
And
you
I
were
had
all over the
private
place.
coaches.
And you have a master's degree in theater arts.
Theater arts.
Theater arts, and you've also been teaching acting for many
Yes.
years as well. You know, so you've touched so many lives when you think
I
about
hope
it.
so.
Of course
I
you
really,
have.
really
Are you
hope
kidding
so.
me? Are you kidding me? So let's go back to 1978.
Oh my goodness.
Way back, way back. So you're a professional dancer.
Well, what happened was I studied ballet,
Yes.
tap, and jazz.
Right. The
So
three
that
core.
I could become a professional ballroom competitive dancer.
Yes, and we have pictures of that too. Let's
Oh
put
my
that up,
goodness. Let
shall
me
we?
Oh my God, that's doing the tango with my ex-husband.
And we have two more.
Oh, that was my first dance partner.
Uh-huh.
I was about 20 years old.
Love it.
That was my ex-husband. He was my dance instructor, and then they asked me to become a
Wow.
dance teacher.
Isn't that amazing?
And then I became a professional
And we have that one
ballroom
pic, the
dancer.
one pic of her solo that I love.
Oh.
Oh, what a picture.
I
That's
can't-
toe.
I
That's
can't-
point, right?
yes,
That's point.
yes. I have
I
to-
did point for us for a quick minute.
12 years.
Wow.
12 or 14 years.
Thank you. That's
and
beautiful. I did point for a hot second. I went up on him and I came down and I
Oh
was
my
like, that's it.
I did so many years of point and had so
Wow.
many surgeries.
Yes.
I've had
Yes.
7 surgeries on my feet.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I'm walking around in
And
these.
wearing heels, baby. You're not ready to retire those puppies.
No, no way, no
But
way.
you were a professional dancer and instructor for the Fred Astaire Studios.
Yes, that's where I met my husband.
Yes, and that's where you
Well, he was
taught
the
ballroom
only,
dancing.
Right, he was the only straight man.
Well, thank God
in Fred
for you.
Astaire's dance studio, and all the other guys were wonderful. I love them.
Yes, yes.
But my first dance partner was more feminine than me.
Okay.
So that didn't work out.
Right.
And then I met my husband.
There you go.
And
At
I
work.
asked him, I said, "Are you gay too?"
Are you straight? And can you dance?
And we
And are you looking
became-
for a partner?
We became partners, and we became
Wow.
partners in life.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're still very, very good friends.
That's good.
My one and only husband.
Oh, okay.
That's the way I like it.
All right. And then in 1994, you founded.
Oh.
You were founder and artistic director of Vision Repertory
The
Company.
Vision Repertory Company, which was a theater company. I
Yes.
wrote and directed 17 plays.
Wow.
And what happened was, when I was married, I was bi-coastal. I had an agent in LA and an agent in New York.
Right.
And I was traveling so much. I was getting a lot of work in both places.
Nice.
And my husband said to me, we're like roommates. He said, this isn't a marriage. You need to make a decision.
Yeah.
And I must say that I loved him dearly, but my passion in this life was for the arts.
Right.
So it broke up the marriage.
Yeah.
And I continued on with my career. But there was so much competition. I remember going to an audition, and I was so excited. My agent got me an audition for a Steven Seagal's film.
Nice.
And I walked in, and there was 200 women, including Gina Gershon.
Oh.
We all looked exactly alike.
Okay.
Exactly alike.
Okay.
And I said, Jesus Christ, how am I going to land this
Right,
role?
right.
I don't know how talented
How do you stick out?
How do you stick out?
Right.
We all look like each other.
So you had dark hair back then,
Yes,
I assume. As a
my
matter of
natural
fact, we have
color.
your headshot. That's black and white because that's how we did it back in the day.
That's how we did it. I was 28 or 30
Stunning.
there.
Stunning, and you still are.
Thank you very much.
Love it. Haven't changed much except for the color. Love it.
So it was hard to get work.
Yeah.
And I wanted to work.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, you know something? The only way to work consistently is to start your own theater and film company. But I needed to raise around $25,000 to rent out a theater space.
And back then, that was a lot of money back then.
A lot of money. And
Yeah.
to get a staff.
Right.
I raised it.
Okay, good for you, girl.
I raised it. I sold everything I possibly could.
Yeah, yeah.
My parents helped, family helped,
Yeah.
friends helped, and the Vision Repertory Company came into existence.
Nice.
So
What an accomplishment.
I was able to act in the plays. I was able to write them. I was able to
Right.
direct them. I was
Yeah.
working consistently. We would start one play. It would run for a certain amount of time.
Right.
It would close
And then on
down.
the next.
Next one right
Nice.
away. We went on
Nice.
for years and years. We're still the Vision Repertory Company. Just the staff has changed over the years.
Right. And is it in New York now? Or
Yes.
is it still in LA?
No, New York.
It's in New York.
It was always in New York.
always in New York. Okay.
Yeah,
good,
I
good to know.
used the Producers Club
Oh yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
I had my auditions there and I had my plays there in the large theater.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a special place to me because I did a lot of work there. And I taught out of there.
Right.
The Producers
Wow.
Club.
That's fantastic. Hey, we're going to take my first break. Please don't go away. More with Roxanne when we come back after this.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought. All right, so we are live, Paradise Studios, New York. Give yourself a round of applause for coming out tonight. Woo!
Well, hi there, Theresa. It's John York from General Hospital. I am just checking in because apparently you have a great talk show called Tea Time on Strong Island TV. I want you to have continued great success and have a lot of fun. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun, and that's pretty much the key to everything, isn't it? So continued success. I'm proud of you. Have a great day, Theresa. Bye.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. Give some shout outs. Michael Norton's watching from Florida. Thank you, my love, my biggest supporter. Ann and Bruno, Vic, Fran, Cheryl. Thank you everyone for watching the show. Please like it, please share it. We're live on YouTube and Facebook. And then the show goes to Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV, Apple TV, everywhere podcasts can be heard and seen every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Channel 20 for people who live on Long Island and get Optimum TV. I am with Roxanne Elise. The woman does it all. She's a writer. She's a director. She's an actor, a model, producer. She's also a licensed film critic. I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah,
and
tell
you
you
know,
all
we
about that.
started out talking how she was originally from Brooklyn, went to Queens, had a disability with her legs, and was in a full body cast after like being a week old, and then having braces, leg braces until she was 3. Telling her parents she wants to dance, became a professional dancer, teacher. It's just an incredible story. It's like a Lifetime movie.
You can
know?
do anything you want.
You know, it's so important to know
all up
that.
here.
It really is. It really is. And I want to fast forward now. We were talking about the Vision Repertory Company, which you said is still going on. 1995 to 98. You actually worked as a personal trainer for Lucille Roberts.
Yes.
Is that right?
Well, I had to have a job.
Well, you know, we all have to have something when
I
we're not
always had
when
a
we're not
job,
working in the arts. Yes.
Even though I was working in the arts.
Yes. Yes.
I
and
always had
I
a
actually
job.
belonged to Lucille Roberts that was on Bell Boulevard in Bayside.
Oh,
I was a member. I was a member. I remember coming off the train and like going straight there trying to work out. And there was this one time where they had us do floor work and I ended up falling asleep on the floor. I was just so tired. So you taught like step. Step was big back then. Remember step?
Oh, yeah.
Step was big
real
back
big,
then.
Real big.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't care for that job.
No.
I just did it because I needed the money to live.
Yeah.
I wasn't making enough money in the craft.
I know, especially when you have downtime.
The
you know?
only time I made really silly money is as a model.
Yes.
I
Yes.
modeled when I was in my teens and my
Okay.
20s.
Those I couldn't find any pics on, so I apologize.
Oh, I have millions.
I should have asked, but
You
I
should have
didn't.
asked
I didn't.
me.
But
now I'm working for models over 50.
okay.
And the money is silly. It's ridiculous.
Really?
And it's such a nothing job. I mean, nothing against models.
Right.
But it's so simplistic.
Now, how did you fall into that?
I was a runway model.
Okay.
When I was in my teens.
Right.
And when I was in my 20s, I was doing print work.
You also did pageant. Did you do a pageant?
Yes, I won.
Let's see that picture.
Ah, the pageant.
Now this was it Miss Maspeth? Can you
Miss Maspeth.
Can you fill up that pic, please?
I'm
right?
crying
Miss
because I won.
Maspeth, Queens. How old were you there?
18.
Wow.
Look at that hair. Oh my goodness.
It's great.
They had just called my name and they snapped the picture.
I
and
love
I won
it.
The pageant.
Thank you. Oh, it's amazing. So how did you get into this Models Over 50? How did that happen?
I found out about it
Yeah.
through a friend.
Yes.
And I went down.
Do you have to be a certain height for that
Yes.
too?
Yes. I'm 5'8".
Just saying.
And you have to be.
What if I wear
I have to
platforms?
be.
Can I wear like, how old are you? How high do you have to be? I'd have to wear like 6-inch. But yeah.
I have to be 120 pounds. They're very, very strict.
Oh, Maron.
Right now, I'm 125 pounds.
Uh-huh.
And they told me, you can't work. Lose
Really?
5 pounds.
Really?
Really.
So if you
They're
show up,
that
do they
strict.
weigh you?
Yes, every time.
They do?
Every time.
Oh my God.
And
That
then they
reminds-
send you home if you're a pound over.
Really? Come on, people. For a pound?
For a pound,
No, I
they
got
will
a
send me
problem with
home.
that. I'm sorry. I got a big issue.
Well, I'm a runway model because I fit in the sample size, which is a 2.
Okay, I don't fit into it too. Screw this.
I'm not fitting in a 2 right now, and that's why I'm not working.
Oh,
but I'm going to
whatever.
lose that 5 pounds because, like I said, it's silly money. I can do a runway show. It can be 2 hours.
I can fit into it too if it stretches. If it's stretch material. If it doesn't stretch, forget about it.
2-hour show,
Yeah. Get, say.
$800.
Oh, nice, and you don't have to take your clothes off. Beautiful.
Clothes
Lovely.
stay on.
Love
Speaking
it.
about that, one of the
Yes.
things about what I didn't like working in the business.
Yeah.
Now I'm not talking about the independent business. This is the real Hollywood business. Was I want people to know this because it is true.
Okay.
There is a casting couch.
Oh, of course there is. What do
Oh,
you think,
my
people?
God.
2024 went away? No.
Weinstein. I as a young woman, I went through horrible situations.
Really?
My first agent, Thomas Fiorello, told me, and I was a young kid, he said to me, you can have a job on a soap opera or a television show in a week.
Right. If you buy knee pads.
Yeah. He said, or you can work with your talent, which you do have.
But
he
you
said,
won't work as much.
and you'll get it in a year.
Right.
And I said to him, well, I'll wait.
Right, because
I'll
we can look in
wait.
the mirror and
That's right.
we know what we did or didn't do.
That's right.
I don't own knee pads,
Neither
but
do
I know a lot of women that do.
So do I.
Yeah. Okay, yes, it definitely does exist. Oh, boy.
And that's one of the reasons why I left and decided to do my own thing.
Yes.
And came back to New York and
Right,
started the theater
right.
company.
How long were you in L.A.?
Oh, I was back and forth for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Did you like L.A.? Because, listen, I've been out to L.A. I did comedy there in the early 90s. It is a different
Oh, the
animal out
vibe
there.
is totally different.
Very, very different.
It's pure perfection. Everyone is polished to a T.
Yes, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. You know what I mean? I just didn't
It
like
was
it.
challenging to me.
It's very challenging, and I think that you know, it's just very, very different. I think in New York, it's what's the word? More of a melting pot
Yeah.
for the actors here.
It is.
Yeah, that's what I found.
I have to go back to LA because I
do?
worked for Big House LA and I critique their films for the film festivals.
Okay.
So I'll be going out there in a few weeks.
Nice. Okay, that's great.
I like it there
Yeah,
because
let's,
after
you know,
work,
let's you jump there. So let's just jump, okay? How did you become a certified film critic?
Okay, let me put it to you this
Because
way.
I need to know.
Anybody can be a critic. Anybody can be a
everyone
critic.
has an opinion.
Exactly.
Yes.
But Lincoln
But yours
Center,
is certified.
I'm licensed. Lincoln Center was having a program
Okay.
that lasted for 6 months.
Okay.
So you could be a licensed film
Licensed,
critic,
certified.
meaning that if you went into New York or you went into LA, you could get into any theater with your license.
Okay.
And you could evaluate any film
Right.
and get paid.
That's a beautiful thing.
And I love film with a passion.
Yes.
So I love to evaluate.
Yes.
But the bad thing is when I watch a film,
Yes.
I cannot sit back, relax with a
No,
bag of
you
potato
have to
chips.
You have to look at continuity.
I'm looking
You have to
at
look at lighting,
everything,
sound.
everything.
You're looking at everything. You're looking at wardrobe. You're looking at hair. You're looking at makeup. You're looking at, I mean, the plethora, lighting and
Everything.
I mean, just everything.
So it takes away from the enjoyment
Yes.
of just relaxing and watching a film
Yes.
because I look at a film
Right.
and I start to take it apart.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's not easy to do. It really isn't. I mean, you can't blink.
Not for a second.
You really,
Not for a second.
You really cannot blink. And you've done this for Tribeca
Tribeca.
and Sundance.
And Sundance. I went to Utah. I went to the Sundance Film Festival
Yeah.
because I was one of the evaluators, not judges, evaluators.
Right.
And I went and I had a fantastic time.
Yes. Yes. So you went in 2012. You went to Sundance. In 2015, you went to Tribeca.
Right.
Nice.
And they pay. They pay for you to evaluate their films.
Well, that's even nicer.
That's why I go to them.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Well, you know, also, 2002, you were an acting instructor at the Producers Club
Yes.
and Theater.
I just rented the space there so I could teach my students there.
That's amazing. You just needed a space.
I just needed
You know,
space.
you mentioned before, because I have it here, that you've written and directed 17 plays and performed in over like 40 of them, right? But I want to talk about you, and you've written 6 screenplays, but number 7, which I think it is still 7, unless you're up to 8, is about your dad.
Oh, my
And it's called
wonderful
Petey Legs.
Petey Legs.
And I want to know, because according to my research, you base all your plays on real people
Yes.
and actual events that either
Yes.
happened to you or people who were close to you.
Right,
Obviously, this is
exactly.
about your dad.
Yes.
So tell me about it.
Well, it's controversial. It's the hardest thing I'm ever going to write because my father was a phenomenal human being. He was charitable, he was generous, he was kind, he was warm.
Yeah.
But he also was a criminal. So I want to tell the truth. I believe in honesty in everything I do.
Right.
I want to tell the truth, but I don't want to make him look bad.
Yeah.
And
So
I've
you
been
could-
getting
so
a
he's
lot
not a
of-
bad person, he just did
No,
bad
he's
things.
a wonderful person, but he was a master thief.
Okay.
A master thief.
Yeah.
And the stories are tremendous,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
the planning that had to be done and the brilliant mind that it took to do the blueprints.
Right, because if he was legit, right, if he did things that would
My
legit
mother
being a
said to
genius,
him,
God knows what he could have done.
what he could have been.
Right?
She said, "You are brilliant, but you're a criminal." Now I'm getting flack from the family
Right.
because they're saying to me,
Why do you want to tell this story? It's kind of like they're, you know, it's
"Your
kind of like
father
the,
was a criminal." I said, "But he was also a wonderful man."
Right.
When he died,
Yeah.
I was his caregiver,
Okay.
also for my mother. My mother passed first. My parents were married over 50 years.
Nice.
It's a real love story.
She stayed with him through the bad.
Oh, they were
The
so
good
much
and the
in
ugly.
love. Yes, she did. And she died first. When she passed, he said to me, "I'm sorry, my darling." He said, "But I'm going to have to go too because I can't live without
your
her."
Mom. Yeah.
They were teenage sweethearts.
Yeah.
So he was gone 6 months after her.
Yeah.
When he was gone, they left me their house.
Okay.
And one day I was going through everything in his room, and the phone rang, and I picked up, and it was a charity for animals. And they said, "Is Mr. Peter Alisi there?" And I said, "No, he's deceased."
Right.
And they said, "Well, he has been sending us money for many years.
Right.
Can you continue his work?" And I said to them, "Well, how much was he giving?" And they said, $1,000 a month.
Wow.
Now,
Wow, we're not talking a couple of dollars here.
here's where the wonderful part of my father comes in. As a thief, it was for the thrill of the ride.
Right, but
He didn't keep the money.
he was like a
He was a modern day Robin Hood.
Robin Hood.
Exactly.
Yes.
So now I get the call from them.
Right. Oh, you must have got more than one call.
I got 13 calls from 13 charities.
Wow.
My mother and I and my sister never knew he was doing this. Wow. The Diabetes Foundation, the MS Foundation,
Right.
St. Jude's.
St. Jude, yeah. It goes on and on and on.
And thousands of
Wow,
dollars.
wow,
So in
wow,
other
wow.
words, he was taking from the very rich and giving to the needy.
Wow, amazing.
And I have another great story that's in the script that I just want to tell because it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
There was a homeless man. My mother, my father, my sister, and myself were going out for dinner. And my father saw this homeless man on the street. And he said to him, "You're coming to dinner with us."
Wow.
He took him into the restaurant. The owner of the restaurant said, "Get that bum out of here." My father was one of the toughest men I've ever known.
Right.
And my father said to
Just
him,
don't curse. Just don't curse on the
No,
show.
I know.
It's going to cable.
I would never.
Okay, just.
My father said, "I don't care what you say.
Okay.
He's
He's my
eating
guest.
with us."
Yeah.
And I remember watching him. The poor man was starving and he was eating everything so quickly and the bread. And my father was trying to talk to him.
Right.
But he was too busy eating.
Yeah.
And I remember I was just a child, but I thought to myself, what a wonderful thing to do.
Yeah.
And today, myself, with homeless people, I always take them. When I was working for a restaurant,
Right.
there was a homeless man on the corner, and my boss wasn't there that day.
Right.
And I said to the homeless man,
Yeah.
I made him come in. I said, "Order
Right.
whatever you
Yeah.
want,
Oh,
anything
nice.
you
Yeah,
want."
Yeah.
And I got that from my father.
Yeah.
My father was a wonderful human being.
Yeah. I love it.
But
love that
he told me, he said, "I don't rob to rob."
Right.
He says, "I rob for the thrill." He said, "You're an actor."
Right.
He said, "When
The
you're
same thrill
he
you
said,
get.
"The same thrill
It's
you
a
get
rush.
when the curtain opens is what I get when
Yeah.
I get through a theft that we've
Wow.
worked on for
Right.
6 months."
Wow.
The planning took 6 months. I mean, we're
no
not talking
joke.
about
Yeah.
robbing this.
Right.
We're talking about
Yeah.
artwork
Right.
and jewels from India.
Right.
And
Big heist.
huge heist
Yeah.
with professionals.
Right. What a story.
It's a tremendous
What a story.
It's a tremendous story. He was a tremendous human being, and I idolize him, and I have no judgment on his
Did he ever
being
go
a thief.
away? Did he ever have to go to school?
He went to college.
Yes, he had to go to
Well,
college.
my mother told me when I was a very little girl,
Right.
because he went away when I was very young,
Okay.
that he was a soldier in the army.
Okay, yeah. My cousin
So-
went away for work. That's
Yeah.
what they told me. But was he away when you were older or just as a child? Because
he
I'm
was-
sure that's something he didn't want to happen in your later years.
Right. He was away several times when I was a very young child, and then when I was in my early 20s, which was very difficult
Oh, I'm
for
sure.
me
I'm sure. Yeah.
and for my mom
Yeah.
and for my sister.
Yeah.
But I remember being in the courtroom
Mm-hmm.
and him being sentenced, and he was a strong, strong man, and he looked at me and he winked and he said, "I'll see you soon."
Oh,
And I was crying.
yeah.
And he was away for quite a while. But
What was the longest stint he was away?
the first one, when I was a baby,
That was the longest.
yeah, that was 5 years. That was for robbing a bank. They did that.
And back then there were no cameras. There was no surveillance.
He told me
there was
it was
no nothing
so
back
easy.
then.
He never told me
Sure.
what he did
Right.
until he was on his deathbed.
Oh, okay.
And I was
Okay.
his caregiver.
Right.
And I said, "Dad, you know that I'm a writer." I said, "You have to tell me the details."
Right.
And he said, "Well, I'll be dead, so it won't matter."
Okay.
He said, "But he told me about the robbery of the bank and how it was done. And he said back then, no cameras,
No.
just security guards.
Yes, yeah.
He said it was easy.
Yes. Yeah.
But he was just a teenager and he got caught.
Right. Yeah. See. Yeah.
It was him and his crew. And then 40 years later, that same crew did another robbery, and they were all in the same courtroom together.
I can't wait for this movie, people. I can't
And
wait.
who I want, my wish list.
Yes.
Adrian Brody.
Ah.
My father was tall and thin, and he had that Sicilian long
Yes.
nose.
Yes. Yes.
Was very, very handsome.
And we got to put that
very
into
charming.
the universe. Make it happen.
Adrian Brody, if you're out there, there's a part for you. And my man Tom Hardy, there's a part for you.
Geez.
My father's best friend, his sidekick.
Love it.
So it goes through years.
Yeah. Yeah.
From when he was
Many,
a
many
kid,
years.
he started robbing when he was a young child.
Wow.
And it goes through his entire life.
Oh my gosh. Hey, listen, we got to take my next break, but please don't go away. Isn't this intriguing? I love it. We'll be back after this.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
Hi, I'm Georgia Rose, founder of Zenkuda. You can watch me on the Soul Space podcast every Friday at noon on Channel 20 for spiritual guidance. And as you all know, that is how I first opened into my own psychic gifts, was through the angelic realm, astrology. So we've got Mars and the Sun together in Scorpio, which creates a lot of combustion. In the astrological world, we call that a kazemi, and tarot. When the Four of Cups right side up, it means we have a lot of choices to make and we're not looking at what's really being divinely given to us. We're too busy in the busyness of the choices to really see the divine intervention, the divine timing, and the divine guidance. We're the place. Watch the Soul Space podcast.
How you doing? It's Sal the Voice Valentinetti. Why are you watching me? You should be watching Theresa Canastraci Tea Time with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. And make sure you follow Theresa on Facebook. Tea Time with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. We'll see you there.
I love the way you say my name. I love. Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. Sal the Voice Valentinetti. I'm trying to get him back here, people. I've had him on about 5-6 years ago. I'm trying. I'm really trying. Roxanne Elise is with me. She has done such amazing work over the years. Writer, director, actor, model, licensed film critic, and professional dancer as well, and teacher. You could follow her on Facebook and Instagram. She's there to see what's going on. Let's fast forward a little bit to 2017. You were the executive producer and co-writer of The Choice.
Oh, yes, I started with film.
Yes.
My start with film was with The Choice. I wrote The Choice, and it was about the death of my family and the effect that it had on me, which was awful. I had gotten sick when it was time to film it. So I called the phenomenal independent filmmaker, Deborah Markowitz, to help me, and she came right on board.
Great.
And what she did was she did some rewrites on the script, and she cast it, and she directed it. And it did so well in the film festivals. I'm so grateful to her. She's a marvelous, marvelous woman.
I love her. She's
and
great.
a good friend,
Yes.
very good friend,
Yes.
and very talented.
2018, you did The Rocking Chair, which was a TV.
The Dancer.
No, you did,
The Rocking Chair
it
series.
right. It was a series, but the dancer's different. No, is the dancer
The
part of the
Rocking
Rocking
Chair
Chair?
series
It parlayed. Okay. Again, executive producer and writer. So yes, same year, 2018, you did The Dancer. Writer,
Yeah, right after
director,
the choice,
producer.
I did The Dancer because
Yes.
I didn't feel like I made a film.
Let's show. We have those two picks. Thank you. There's
The Dancer. Victoria Guthrie,
and
tremendous
Bettina
actress.
Sky. We have
and
a
Bettina
picture.
Sky.
Yes, the next one. Thank you. Yep.
That was Golden Door, I believe.
Thank you.
Wonderful actresses.
Yes. Again, did very, very well. I watched it. I loved it.
Oh, you liked it?
Yes, I did.
The Dancer was controversial.
Well,
It was dark.
It was dark. It wasn't a comedy. I mean, I didn't laugh when I watched it, but
I'm called The Dark Knight.
but I liked it. I did like it, and I think that what I took away from it is that everyone hits some kind of pothole
Yes.
in their life. And it depends on how you deal with the aftermath of that pothole.
And she didn't deal well
Correct.
at all.
Correct.
She lost her
Exactly.
mind.
Yes, she did.
She lost her mind.
She did, and I know people who've done that too. You know?
But I have to give credit also, once again, to my editor,
Okay.
Rob Riley.
Okay.
This film was mine, completely mine.
Yes.
I cast it, I directed it, I
Right.
wrote it,
Right.
I rewrote it.
Yeah.
Rob Riley came aboard and took that film and made it so rich.
Oh, editing is magic.
Editing-
Editing is magic. Magic.
Editing is the thing
Absolutely.
that makes the film.
Absolutely.
I had
Absolutely.
no idea that film was going to come out as well done
Right.
after
Yeah. It's
Rob
all in the
Riley.
editing. All
yeah,
in the editing.
it's all in the editing.
You did a movie which we're going to show once a week for life, which is our friend George Zoufalos, and leave that there, please. And that is Al Sapienza. You had a scene with Al Sapienza. Al,
It
I've had
was-
on my show. I'll be sending this to him. Al, lovely to work with this man. I love him.
We had a great chemistry. The scene went very, very well.
Yes.
I also want to thank George Zoufalos
Yes,
for
George
helping
Zoufalos.
me, giving me the part.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
recommended by the
Yes.
beautiful and talented Diana Durango Valero.
Uh-huh.
And George Zoufalos said, come on down,
Well,
Roxanne.
I'm in it too.
I know.
We didn't
I
have
know.
a scene together, but I'm in it also, and I'm excited to one day see the screening with you.
Yes, I
That'll
can't
be
wait.
great.
I can't wait.
And we have another mutual friend, Rob, and you were at the Pancakes and Syrup
Premiere.
premiere. There you are. And it was a lot
My
of fun.
good friend Rob, who I actually met over 25 years ago.
Yes.
He worked for the Vision Repertory Company.
Yes.
I cast him
Yes.
in a play called Exit to Miami, where
Uh-huh.
he played an alcoholic drug addict.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been
Well, he's had a lot of experience.
a lot of experience
and
in that.
that's what he plays in Pancakes and Syrup too, right?
But
Someone
I
who-
reviewed Pancakes
You
and
did
Syrup.
review it, and
Yes,
what
I
did you think of it?
And I gave it 5 stars.
Woohoo! 5
And I don't
stars.
give 5 stars to any film.
Let me tell you something. I did not know what to expect. And as you mentioned before, it's all in the editing. Now, Rob and Tom
They're so
were
talented.
amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing. I had a great time working with Tom. And Rob was fantastic. We filmed our scene, the bar scene in Astoria. And then we filmed the car scene right here in front of beautiful Paradise Studios.
Well, what I wanted to tell you was
What?
that when I was reviewing the film, I didn't realize that was you. And I said, that girl is the quintessential Italian girl that gets thrown out of cars by men.
Thank
You were
you.
great.
Thank
you were
you.
terrific. There is
you.
no small roles.
I believe that.
There is no small
I
roles.
totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. I believe there are no small roles, and I really believe, obviously, in giving 100% of me at all times.
Absolutely.
And leaving the audience remembering me.
Absolutely, I agree.
That's what I try to do. But I appreciate that. I really do.
noticed you right away, and I
Yeah.
said, she's good. She's really good.
Thank
and
you.
Tom was being a typical, I can't use any
We
curse
can't
words.
use the word, but
A typical Rick
yeah.
throwing
Can we
you
say
out
prick?
of the
We
car.
can say prick. We can say prick. We'll say prick. But yeah, another word for Richard. But it was really, I did not know what to expect. I had a couple of friends there.
Oh, my
and
goodness,
they loved it.
poignant.
They loved it. It was so good. It was really,
It had
really
everything
good. Because
that
the
a
thing is, you're
film
in
needs.
something and you don't know how it is until you see it, right? It could be a bomb. I was in something else. It was a rom-com. It's Love Bro, George Massimillo, and my mom came. It was the first time my mom ever saw me in anything on the screen, and I said to her, I know I'm funny. I don't know how the rest of it's going to be, and it was good. And she said, you were fantastic, and it was very funny. And I said, great. And I felt like I could walk on water. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah.
My father was my critic.
Yeah.
He would tell me, he was unfiltered. He would say, no,
yeah.
you didn't do a good job as you did the last time in the last show.
Right.
He would tell me.
Yeah.
And I always have appreciated the criticism. I learned from the criticism.
Absolutely. I like brutal honesty.
Me too.
I really, really do.
And
because that's
I am
how you
brutal
learn.
in my honesty.
But that's good. I love that. Hey, listen, we have look how fast this went, 3 minutes left. But you had said that you were diagnosed with something, and I know you wanted to talk
Multiple
about
sclerosis.
MS, yes.
I've been living with it for 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
and it's literally killing me. But I want people to know that you can win. You can win. You have to fight. This is the strongest organ that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And I've studied mind over pain for many, many years. Right now, I am in tremendous pain.
Right.
I'm always in chronic pain.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm somewhat iconoclastic towards doctors and medications. So I use this
Right. Yeah.
to help me to get through every day.
Right. Yeah.
But I just want people to know that you can live with it and you can enjoy your life. You just have to learn how to deal with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's a process.
And it is keeping a positive frame of mind.
All the time.
You know.
Even when the pain is brutal. Just say, no, I'm in control of my body.
Right.
It doesn't control me.
Yeah.
I don't give life to my illnesses. Because then they will take over your life.
Absolutely. So before we go, this went so fast. And again, I want to thank you for doing this.
Oh, thank
I
you so
appreciate it.
much.
But I just want to ask you real quickly, PD legs,
Yes.
already done?
No.
All right, so it has to be finished? And then...
It's in the beginning stages.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. It's in its infancy.
It's in its infancy.
Okay.
I need a team to write this film.
Okay.
This is a tough one.
I know people. Okay.
I'm sure you know people.
We know people.
We
I
know
people. We know people. I know a guy. But you would definitely get this done. I hear the passion in your voice and the love for your dad, and and I relate in many ways in other facets from my life that I could pull from. So I definitely want to see this happen for you.
Oh, thank you. I want to see it happen so bad. Adrian Brody, if you're out there, please.
We're putting
it's
it
a
out into
role
the
of a
universe.
lifetime.
But listen, I want to thank you again really, Roxanne, for doing this.
It
I
was
appreciate
my
it.
pleasure.
And I hope we get to work together
I
one
hope-
day.
yes, that would be
That'd be
wonderful.
awesome, right?
Now stand up next to me.
No, stay there, stay there. But we did once a week for life, but not together. But in the future, hopefully. Listen, I want to thank everyone for watching the show. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you supporting me in Tea Time. I am going on hiatus for the month of August. You'll still see Tea Time on Monday nights for the month of August, but I will be back live in September, my big birthday month.
Yay!
So remember, everyone, tell everyone you love them, and I'll see you in September. Ciao, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.